A galactic civil war spreads across the stars. From the heights of Coruscant to fiery Mustafar, to fight the evil empire, for people join the fray. These are the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Edge Studios' Age of Rebellion. This is Arc 3, Episode 18 of The Hard Road. And I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure. I'm using they, them pronouns.
Hey y'all, I'm Erica Goodwitch, and I'm playing Norin Gremian, they, them, engineer scientist.
Hello, I'm Zach. I use they, them pronouns. I play Shin Shazin, uses he, him pronouns, and I'm an infiltrator interrogator.
I'm Henry. I use she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Isacel An, who uses she, her pronouns. She's the ship pilot and captain.
I'm Joy. I use she, her, and I play Key Georgiavic, she, her pronouns, and she's a sharpshooter. Pew pew.
So, to get to know our characters a bit better, we get one to ask everyone a question. And today's turn, it is Shen's.
I imagine it's another morning at the calf machine. Hey, we've been going through a lot lately. There've been a lot of close calls and incidences and injuries and stuff, and it's got me thinking. I was raised by my uncle, my sister, and my uncle was like crazy religious, which didn't really it never made sense to me because now that we have intergalactic society, it's like how can one planet's deity be the deity that even one sect of one planet's deity be the deity that runs over everything? I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about what happens next, I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on this? I don't know. I'm just kind of struggling with it lately. I don't know why. Usually it doesn't bother me, but for some reason it's just been on my mind a lot because I see a lot of different religious iconography whenever people come in to get wounds stitched up and stuff.
I do have a thought about the afterlife. It's something of, you live my life, you think about quite a lot.
Yeah, I imagine.
Something the storytellers from Kanari used to tell me is that all these ideas and concepts of afterlife, they're very much just like how we all try to perceive death, but truthfully, we all just become one with the universe again. Like a drop of water in a great river. You become part of it. You are it. You're no longer your single drop, and you're just the universe. It always brought comfort to me.
Where I am from, we believe in a deity that is very merciful and gracious to us and great for the hunt. But I believe that in the afterlife we are... I do not believe that we just disappear. I believe that we have souls and that we go somewhere. And for me, it's a great hunt. We go on this a great adventure and a great hunt where everyone gets to enjoy the outdoors and hunting and just living your life to the best. I do know that other people from their own cultures and their own places, who's to say that they're not real? Maybe they are, and maybe for them and for the people that they're real and they're true, and so I support them for what they believe. I believe that some people that use the little magic thingy, they say the Force, your life just becomes part of the Force and you go back with it. I believe that it's whatever you want to believe. I don't think that there is any right or wrong way to answer this question. I do believe that I would like to make people go to the afterlife a little faster with my pew pew, but that's only because they're not very nice people. So I think that they should go to the afterlife a little bit quicker. That's my take on it.
Wow. Extremes, What about you, Norin?
You're asking the wrong Mary Allen. Made up of crude matter as we are, we have the individual power to affect the universe around us. through our actions and inactions. And we are granted that power while we live. When we die, our usness just goes into that interweaving web in between everybody. Does that satisfy you?
Yeah, I mean that's good. I always just I was kind of like the idea of finally having like sleep, like a nice rest. Just like, oh, everything's done, relax, chill, just kind of, I'm old, so at this point I figured, I'll just probably go in my sleep anyway, so you know.
You may be old and short, but that does not mean that you need to go to the afterlife yet. You have a little more growing up to do.
That's taking my tea out.
Keitra, how old do you think Shen is?
Oh, I mean, he says he's old, so I don't know. He's got to be maybe 40.
I'm going to start off with Izazel and Norn. We see a lot of chopped up 1 meter wide pipe that has been from the initial Tibania gas run that has been vented. Now the piping and tubing from that has been chopped up so that Izazel and Norn can use that pipe and the fittings and that sort of stuff to try and take some of the Tibania gas that is threatening to heat up and overpressure in under an hour and cause another major explosion, possibly even bigger than the last one, because no one's quite sure what actually caused it that was more effective than turbo laser fire. But we've also got Norn that is bleeding. Well, not actively bleeding, but is definitely gnawed on. Yes.
I hurt.
There's a mangled M-droid that has been collected but put off to the side. We've got the 3 M's and Izazel there, as they are dealing with the aftermath of a Womp Rat attack, as well as trying to engineer a Kessel Run's chance of solving this problem with a Tibania gas by using Tibania gas. Kind of ingenious. Very Kessel Run-esque.
This is this is the paradox of the self-running machine.
The tubing that has been chopped up and can now get put into place and welded, we're halfway to 1/3 of a way through the actually assemblage, setting up the bypass and getting it actually hooked into the near generator. Well, that is a mechanics check. How are Norn and Izazel wanting to deal with this, especially considering the now proven Womp Rat threat?
So, first step is as we're going, Issa tells to look at Norin. Like, Norin, I need 3 seconds. I just realized what was in my utility belt. She's gonna pull out a stim pack and kind of stab herself around the stomach because I realized oh wait, I have one too. And I've had one this whole time because I desperately need 5 wound healed. And I'm just saying, she was kind of look at the bruising on her midsection. It hurts. And she's gonna use that moment to kind of clear her head and just okay, we need to keep moving. She's pulling out all her gear and just at this point kind of laying it on the ground. The emergency pack, her tools, the backpack. She's literally undoing her utility belt and putting it down. It's if we need to tie things, we have my utility belt. She's everything she has, that's not attached to her, just coming off. Jacket on the ground in case we need extra filtering and we need to use a jacket for it. It's okay, we have every tool we have, including a flashlight that has some Womp Rat on it. Backpack on the floor just in case.
Great. Cool. God, if this is an actual problem, they have to have some sort of way to counteract this problem with some sort of warding field or something. Maybe lights, sound. Who knows? I don't. It's a bigger issue to me if the whole planet blows up, though. So, focusing. Norin has 10 out of 13 strain, by the way.
We got this. We got this. And wait, okay. I think I got something that might help. I really hope I get a fight force pip on this one. Please, right? Please. Oh, cool.
You got 2.
So, I want to activate my sense basic power and just keep my foresight on that as long as possible. Just to just keep sensing around me.
All right, yeah.
Passive perception.
Yeah.
Except really accurate passive perception. The question I have is, what range do you have?
It is. I think it's short range. Let me double check on here.
That's fair. I'm just wanting to make sure.
Oh, wait up. Since we're on for sense, all of it. Yep, short range. And since I have an extra force pip, just gonna like quickly jump into Norin's head and just see how Norin's feeling.
Oh my
No,
God.
I'm gonna quietly say, Norin, if you need any emergency thought and you're close to me and you don't want to say it out loud, I should be able to hear you. Maybe. I'm still figuring this out. Test it real quick. Think of something off the top of your head. Literally, think of top.
The ceiling, the sky.
She's kind of getting the senses of Nora. It's like, oh, you literal. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Hopefully, this works the way I think it works. And if you start thinking danger when you're close by, I should be able to sense you. Maybe. This is a test. Let's keep working.
The fitness gram pacer test.
She's grabbing tools in her one hand, looking at the M's like, okay, M's, I'm gonna need you. I'm still a hand down.
Okay, so we do have the roll. It's also going to take a fair amount of time, too.
Yeah, what's all the random things Norin can do?
Yeah, that would definitely be a thing.
Okay, I can remove 2 setback per rank because I have 2 ranks of gearhead.
Mm-hmm.
Love redundant systems.
I mean, redundant systems probably would work as not this roll, but the next roll kind of a thing.
And then, of course, there's inventor. I have 2 ranks of inventor. Yeah.
I'm going with that's applicable.
All right. So what's the role, boss?
So this is doing a very A-Team / MacGyver-esque fashion of a repair. Let's call it... And it's still going to be like a 2 red, 2 purple, and let's call it 2 setback just for the symmetry. I will be using one of the destiny points for one of the reds.
Cool.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I get to remove those setback because of gearhead, and add 1 blue for Izazel assisting Norin, 2 blue for inventor. So that is a yellow, 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 green, red, red, purple, purple, blue, blue, blue roll. A success and 3 advantages.
That was closer than I was expecting. You're able to get essentially from one of the outflow valves, chop off there, and then put in a redirect from there, flowing back and figuring out a reduction so that the Tibania gas is going to flow from these tanks back the other way and into the generator. You've been able to get that fabbed in. This has taken a fair amount of time. I'm going with at least base that would be 25 minutes just of cutting and welding. Like, this is definitely Star Wars time as opposed to as if you're trying to really do it. But yeah, I'm figuring that this will be about 25 minutes from where y'all had been. But everything is fabbed in. You've got the reductions in, so that's actually going to be going in. Though I'm going to figure the final mix is still needing to be figured. Oh, what do you want to do with the 3 advantage?
I'd like to use at least one to reduce a strain.
That's entirely doable.
Maybe 2.
Take as many as you need.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll take 2 to reduce 2 of Norn's strain so that they are at 8 out of 13. And use the third one as a boost towards mine or Izazel's next check.
all right. That is totally a good way of doing it. So in that case, yes, it takes about 25 minutes to do all the fabbing, moving the pipes around in that. The M's and Izazel are a great help with doing that, even though Izazel is essentially one-armed at the moment. The way it looks is the piping's in, it's set up. You are going to have to run through the venting process on this next set of tanks. But what should happen is one of those tanks, instead of venting out, will vent backwards into the auxiliary generator, which will keep everything up and going as long as the tank is full. And there's stuff to make sure that you can transfer between tanks, so that'll work.
What's the time frame on that? Like, how long does it take for, like, how long can one tank of the Tabana gas keep this cooling going?
It's hard to say the exact efficiency of it, but you are absolutely certain that it should be about 48 hours per tank minimum.
I have an idea for after that, so
As I say, like, that's a absolute minimum of it. Other aspects, multiple successes, triumphs, that sort of stuff can extend that a fair amount. But bare minimum, one tank will be 48 hours, bare minimum, and you only lose 3 more tanks of gas. After that, you can start transferring from one tank to another to another.
Okay.
So I think that would leave 50. Yeah, it would leave 53 tanks worth that you could transfer into this contraption to get it to cool the rest. Though really the last one, what's the point? But whatever.
And we've bought this planet a little bit of time.
All right, I am going to flip a point because, well, I can, and I've got a lot. Well, I had a lot. So now that the cacophony of welding and pipe moving and all the other stuff is come to an end, you can hear movement of what you're pretty sure is Womp Rats skittering around. And in the distance, off in the lit area of the office, where you know that the Gonk droid was running between different sections, turning them on for a brief moment as their internal battery was slowly, well, at this point, fastly draining out. You hear a gnashing of metal and a wailing off in the distance.
It never ends.
I don't like that. All right, so to double check, the next part we have is figuring out the mix before firing it, correct? Because
pretty much, yes. It's at the moment you don't have a regulator that is calibrated to Tibania gas, so this is kind of going to be done free-handed.
oh, perfect. We got something first, but first, before we go into that, Nord, you still kind of looks at you and starts pokes each of the standing M's in the eye, and just like squats down a bit and just puts her finger up to her mouth like, shh, we need to do this next part quietly. Just get us as much time as possible. And I want to make a group stealth check. I poke the M's for a reason. I love them. I don't trust them to be stealthy.
Okay. Group stealth check. That is a awesome way of doing it.
I've
So
got
when you say
3
you poke
green.
them in the eye, you're closing them up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to double check.
I got a yellow and 2 green for this one, so
Yeah.
I'll lead us on this one.
You take the lead on this one.
All right. That is going to be going up against 3 purple.
Don't forget the boost. Maybe there's just, an ambient hum from our new mechanical system that can help cover our tracks. Have a boost.
I was also going to say, because these things are living creatures and they're not immune, hopefully not immune to forest parts. If Wompards are immune to forest parts, I'm terrified.
So it was a 3 purple stealth check.
Yes, 3 purple stealth check. I have a rank in it, so
With
it's
a
yellow,
boost.
green boost. We're also arguing for a boost of like all the new ambient sound of like the piping getting ready to going. Can we get an extra boost for that?
Yeah, I can go with that.
Also,
Be quiet.
I got a new ability, Sleight of Mind. So as long as these things aren't immune to the Force, I get an extra boost to my stealth check.
You get an extra boost.
Sleight of mind.
Yeah, Isacel, the closer she gets to the Force, the sneakier she gets. All right, so that's
In theory, I should be worried about that, but yes.
in theory. So
Be
it's
happy Shen doesn't have the Force.
honestly.
Morality would be a big changer.
Oh yeah. So right now that's a yellow, 2 green, 3 blue boost, 3 purple. Let's see what we get. Da 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 da. A success and an advantage.
Again, the boost coming through. Yay.
Boost coming in clutch.
Which is a weird thing to hear. I swear that's going to be a just clip I give to people. All right, so yes, you're able to do this stuff pretty stealthily. The Womprats are scurrying around. You can hear them. The Womprats are not really being all that quiet, but you also know that at least the last nod of them is not close. Or not super close, anyway.
Oh, that poor Gonk.
Poor Gonk, indeed.
He tells her to get close to Norrin's like, okay, Norrin, I'm going to admit something to you. I have an idea for this mix, but I have to admit something. Remember how I crashed that pod racer a long time ago? So
Vaguely.
it wasn't because I was bad at piloting. I'm actually quite good. It's because I was illegally using a fuel addition that might come in, a thought that might come in handy here. I'm using that boost from that advantage. If we could get a boost out of that, just so I could give the story of Isacel is the kind of girl who secretly uses NOS in races and didn't tell anyone.
Oh my god. No, Shen figured.
I love that.
Yeah, some back alley fuel chemistry.
Not the first time she's done it.
And now Norrin's around.
Yeah. See, it's going to be right this time because you're here.
That math checks.
I'm not gonna give that the dignity of a response.
Logic, Norrin.
So, Isacel's lived experiences with Norrin's brain. What's the role we're making for figuring out this like air to fuel ratio that won't make us explode immediately?
Education.
I can go with education, sure.
Cool. And hey, you want to use one of those one of these pips, right? One of these points?
With 3 yellows and a green?
Please use it. Just use it. Here, I'm taking it for you.
4 yellows then. Ha ha ha. What's my roll?
This feels seriously dangerous, so it really feels like it should be like a 3 red, a purple, and a couple setback due to trying to keep quiet.
Okay. Well, I get to remove 2 setback per rank of researcher from all knowledge checks. But that's for researching a subject? Well, no, it says remove setback per rank of researcher from all knowledge checks, period. Researching
Yeah.
a subject takes half the time. So that sounds like it's two unrelated things.
Yes. That is how I've always treated it. Yes.
So I can remove those 2 setback that you just said.
Mhm.
I'm still stuck with 3 reds.
And a purple.
And a purple. But yeah, fun. Does this count as constructing an item or modifying attachments? I feel like invention comes with chemistry too, not just mechanics.
Which talents are you wanting to use on this?
Inventor.
Inventor, yeah, I can go with. For some reason, there was another one
Just a 2 boost.
you had mentioned that I thought might be in there.
I mean, if I fail this check, I can re-roll it because I have natural scholar.
Okay, now I'm really hoping for a fun first roll.
Right? And can we add one more boost because we have a hand? Isasel still has her hand scanner, and just use it as just like to tweak it, to make sure the tweaking gets just right.
I need to use careful planning more often. Okay.
All right.
Yellow, 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 red, 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 purple, blue, blue. Yeah?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Boop. 3 successes.
Oh my lord!
You have to run through the first bit of turning off or venting this row of Tibania gas tanks, and that takes a bit of time just going through it. You've done it once before, so it takes a tiny bit less time. But as you're doing this, you can start hearing the newly welded, newly fabbed in tubing taking pressure for the first time. And you're pretty sure of your welding capabilities, but this is a first time. So you hear the creaks and cracks of a gas, especially a gas under pressure, going through these very large and very echoey lines. So you hear the line pressuring up, and you're able to get the valves that you've got set up at the very end properly tuned in. Suddenly, the creaking stops. Like, okay, it's reached pressure. I'm figuring that you've got Norin and Izazel standing right next to the generator as, okay, what's going on here? What do we need to do to get this thing to actually kick over? The two of them turn and look at the generator and see this one flashing green button. So who presses it?
Norin gestures at Izazel. It was her idea.
No, Giselle just smiles and then presses the big green button.
You can hear what sounds like just the absolute tiniest of engines. It almost sounds like a lawnmower engine starting up, like the really high pace, just tick, 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 tick. And then you hear a whine of this generator start going. And you can even see a couple of the indicator lights start on it. It looks like a portion of it starts turning as the whine keeps increasing, and then there's a final clunk that happens, and you start hearing a very loud thump, 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 as it seems to be in a inline design for pistons, where you can start seeing it almost looking like something moving from side to side at, I'm going to go with comically, head level, as these fairly massive pistons, like bigger than the M's domes are round, start extending from it on one side, then the other, each time carrying a very loud thump of the engine kicking over. As that happens, you can then hear the electricity system starting to come up. A couple of the lights flicker for a moment. They're really close, and then just a thump, all the lights turning on at once. Because until this point, you've pretty much been in the dark, literally. You've been using glow rods and that to get around everything. Now, this generator is working off of the Tibania gas. You can hear very energetic explosions. It definitely sounds like the main generator needs to get put online with proper fuel, because this thing's seals are probably going to go in. It'll be enough time to get the main generator online. Previous triumphs have seen to that, but this thing, once it's taken offline, might just get fused, because it's going to be running hot. It's going to be running with wildly different fuel mixtures.
Modifying machinery so it's unusable after we leave? That sounds like our crew. It sounds very familiar, actually. Issa kind of looks at Nora, kind of like did we do it? And then stops. Do you think we have enough energy to activate the exhaust vents?
Yes. Why?
Well, instead of coming back in, looks at like the math from earlier, like 48 hours. What if we set all of them to exhaust? It would just cost the Empire a lot of money. And they don't know it's us.
Well, where does all of the Tabana gas exhaust to? Like, think about it.
This is true.
Just be releasing a lot of Tabana gas into the atmosphere of this planet.
Stops and looks at Norin. What's our Tabana gas to atmosphere ratio of destruction of an environment? I don't know why, but I feel like it's a very specific question you can answer.
I'm gonna go with, well, let's see. 60 tanks in the planet is roughly... It could probably cause like a season or two of really bad weather. Maybe a couple of years. But ultimately would balance out.
And also removes the chance of this exploding and causing even more damage than last time.
True.
Plus, we would shut down the stabilizer factory until they can refuel and rebuild this whole thing, so... She kind of looks at Nor. Would you like to do some questionable good? I'm going to balance this out. This would be a good move.
I think it'd be a pebble in their foot. But... Sure.
But pebbles in the foot that can save a lot more lives in 2 days.
The main thing is definitely saving lives.
Then we're going to go find wherever the switch is to hit the exhaust on this stuff.
Now that you've got power actually on, you can make your way back up to where now there are a lot of scratch marks on the floor. There's a lot of pieces to a gong strewn all over the office, but you can see the wall of indicator. You can see where the Tibania gas would normally be. You can see it's got indicators on 60 different tanks. 7 of them show that they are empty. 1 shows a venting failure, that the venting had been engaged but is somehow still holding pressure. And it's got 52 tanks that are currently hot, like showing in the yellow line, but they are trending towards the green of being in the proper temperature range. And there is also all the controls for shifting Tibania gas from point to point or venting.
Right. We have to manually vent because there's something... It wasn't a power thing. It was some sort of mechanical failure.
There's a button to vent the 52 normal tanks here.
Oh, okay.
There's got to be a scram button there to vent them using the machinery there. If you take a look at like lining things up, the 7 tanks that are showing vented are the ones that you vented. The one that's showing a venting failure that's retaining fuel or retaining gas is the one that you've redirected into the auxiliary generator.
Oh, okay. Poke.
Yeah, now like a klaxon comes on and actual red lights on top of the normal lights that are there come on. You can see the pressure indicators on each of the tanks that aren't feeding the generator start to go down precipitously. When gas gets vented, it gets vented fast, especially into the proper bore of tubing. You can hear the big whoosh of all of a sudden 52 tanks just get emptied right now. And it sounds like a bit of a as they flow up into the flare structures that are very high above the facility itself.
Isacel just smiles and starts like trying to start putting her stuff away and reactivating Ems. Looks at Norin and just goes, "How much do you think all the Tabana gas costs?" And she's like getting everything ready to get out of here.
A lot.
So with that, there's an emergency radio there. It's a facility that's got to have an emergency radio. And it crackles to life playing a broadcast, which is kind of impressive considering how far underground you are. And as my scene transition, I am using this.
Citizens of Brivis, this is Captain Okrim of the Imperial Navy. We know that you are suffering down there in desperate need of food, medical supplies, security, and aid. And we were doing our best to provide those to you as an example of the generosity of the Empire. However, there is an insurgent terrorist cell hiding amongst you, who have murdered Imperial officers and troops and caused significant damage to our property. This has both impeded our efforts to assist you and also sent a message that you don't want help. To that end, we are withdrawing all of our presence and the supplies and food and assistance that we had been giving to you. It is also clear that you do not want anybody's assistance. Consequently, we are blockading the planet so no one can get in or out to help you. Your message has been heard, citizens of Brevis. If we are mistaken, and you do still want help, the answer is simple. Hand over the terrorists to Imperial justice. When that is done, we will remove our blockade and resume our shipments of medical supplies, food and water, and other assistance. If you do not, the blockade will remain until there are none left to suffer. We do not wish to do this, but an example must be made. Choose carefully, while there are still those among you capable of making the choice.
While that was going on, the camera had focused in about halfway on the speaker of the emergency radio, and then it changes to a different speaker as it comes out, and it's a earpiece that is in Keetra's ear as she had been moving from her last vantage point of, if I remember right, taking out a couple scout troopers that had been investigating the perch that Keetra had been shooting from, and then moving on. Yeah, we're seeing Kedra on the ground outside of the building, a bit down the street from where Kedra is. You can see a bus that has the internal lights on, and you can see a very mixed group of species in there, including what absolutely looks to be, well, it's hard to tell. Is the person sleeping? Is the person a corpse? You're not quite sure, but that's in the passenger spot, just one behind the driver. The driver is a Shistavanen, who is just looking to be freaking out as they're there. And out from the disabled command post comes boiling, I'll go with 30 stormtroopers, as they seem to be on the side closest to Kedra. There's a flaming vehicle maintenance yard, and let's say that's directly in front of Kedra. Off to Kedra's right a little bit is a row of 5 tents. Beyond that is a Duracrete structure that the stormtroopers are coming out of, and that is completely blacked out. Just in behind the fiery wreck of a maintenance yard is a building that you can see into on account of the closest wall has fallen down, and a bit of the roof that is in this direction has fallen. About half of the stormtroopers are setting up a defensive line. Like, they're taking cover, and there's at least one squad in there that is sacrificial, that they are, setting up a defensive line to make sure that no one else is coming in. A couple of them are taking ranging shots, showing that they are using the kill setting, not the stun setting. And the other ones are going into the field on the opposite side of these two structures. Far in the distance, like it would still be extreme range even from this move point, is a fallen office building on the far side of a field. Just on the inside of that field, just past the two buildings, is where a Imperial officer and Shen have fallen. It looks like there's a medical crew that is investigating both. They may not care about stormtroopers, but they've got to care about the officers, at least a little.
Kedra,
Yes,
I need you to listen to me right now.
I'm very much listening.
Everything's fine. You just grazed me. It's not a big deal. I need you to keep my sister safe. I can't get up right now, otherwise I'm going to give my position away. Please take my sister and whoever is with her, get them safely back to the ship. Everything is fine. Don't, I'm a doctor, right? Don't worry about it.
Listen, I accidentally shoot you without a meaning to, and there was not like on purpose.
No, I know. Oh, I know.
You're not as short as you think you are.
Oh, trust me, I've discovered that, and yay for me. I can't.
I will come save you. I will come down there and I will grab you and I will save you. Okay?
Kedra.
And
Kedra.
But you're my friend.
And as your friend, I'm telling you,
you cannot die.
I will be fine. I will find a way to meet back up with you. That's what I do. Don't tell Norin and confirm their suspicions, but I'm a spy, so it's gonna be okay.
You like to spy on me? I mean, don't do that.
What? No, that's not. No, I'm retired. It's.
Oh, okay. Okay. Don't be loud. Stop. Shh. You give away your position.
I know.
Okay, so I will. Do you want me to shoot more people, or do you want me to go?
Well, only if it's to keep everyone safe. Get to the vehicle.
But they're going to shoot everyone on planet.
Don't focus on getting back to the ship with everyone you can.
Okay.
I have to go. There's people approaching. I have to go.
Okay, be quiet. We'll shoot them when they approach.
No, Kedra, no shooting. Lee, go to the bus and go.
Okay.
Shen will key off of the comm to Kedra, and then he's not aware that the captain is awake, so he's going to comm Norin. Norin. Can you hear me,
Shen.
Norin? Hey.
I can hear you.
There's some bad things happening here. As far as I know, the mission is a success. Yay, go us. When Kira gets back with my sister, I need you to just leave. I won't be making it on this particular trip. I have to find an alternate way. I need you to trust me. More than ever, I need you to trust me right now. Do not wait for me. And when the captain wakes up, I don't know. Tell her I forced you. I don't know.
Norin just opens comms to Izazel too.
because I don't know what I'd even say to the captain to convince her, but I just,
Shen, given that there is an Imperial blockade forming around the planet right now.
What?
Shen would have heard the transmission.
Oh, I thought I had comms off. Was that
No,
over?
The
Everybody
transmission was to everyone. Like it was essentially on the emergency channel.
Okay.
Which, you turn off your own personal ones, but it was blasting through everything. If you didn't hear it directly, it was over loudspeakers.
That's what that was. Okay. Hold on, I'm losing a little bit of blood here. If you go to my room, don't tell the captain, don't tell Kedra. In the closet, you're gonna have to get in the closet. Ignore all the posters and pictures you see. That's definitely not me. There's a box full of documents per se on the loose panel above my hanging rack for all my clothes, my turtlenecks and my awesome shirts. You might be able to find something that helps. Also, if Kedra feels bad, let her know I'm fine. Just, as far as you all know, I'm okay.
Shen?
Oh, God, I have to go.
Shen, no. One last thing. Shen, I'm giving you one final order. Survive at all costs. You seem to be very good at it, but survive. We'll find you one day.
It's probably better if I find you. If I don't look for me. It'll be easier for me to find you.
You know the asteroid to find us. My friend, I will get everyone off this planet.
Oh, Criff, I have to go.
Bye. Looks at Norin. I'm not going to look in there. This is... Shen didn't want me to see, and starts heading towards the exit.
I don't want to see. Okay.
It's just Shin's old band pictures with Shin and his mohawk. and the box documents is just false papers and art pre-filled forms.
Chain codes and stuff.
Yeah. There's random various bits and baubles that may or may not provide a boost.
So with that, I do kind of want to see what Kedra's doing.
Kedra is... She's looking over at where Shin is. She knows he said not to do anything. She really wants to do something.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, she looks and she's like, he told me to go to the ship. he will find his way. He's never lied to her before. He's always done what he said he was going to do. So she is she's going to try to make her way to the bus and get on the bus with his sister. And so she's going to try to make her way that way. That's what she's going to do. She really is fighting everything in her to go and just stand over him and shoot everybody that comes near them and just Rambo it. Like, that's what she wants to do, but she knows that she would die if she did that. But she's also like, she just wants to protect him. But she's like, you know, if he can pretend to be dead, then maybe they'll overlook him and then things will be okay.
The effect of this roll is very to be seen, but I do want to get a 2 purple discipline check from Kedra. Mostly just to see how this plays out. Like, you're describing this really internal struggle, and it feels like there should be something to it.
So I only have 2 green, and I'm going to get 2 purple. I can't see any boost because I mean, the only boost would be as if Zach has anything that's like leadership that, you know, like, oh, I just, you know, talked her into this.
I have a single green in leadership.
Yeah,
I mean,
so no.
I have a yellow in charm and
That-
a yellow and a green in coercion.
Yeah, on the other hand,
My deception is 3 yellows.
But
and this one is like bright deception.
Jeez. I mean, as far as anyone knows, it's possible. Who knows?
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you're wanting to go with like coercion or something like that, I would be going for it. But no, this one just sort of raw
Yeah.
shows off
I'm gonna-
deception. But
I'll just go ahead and just roll the 2 green, 2 purple, because I don't see how
I mean,
he
there
would
are light
boost
side
me.
points available.
She's conflicted.
All right.
I'm gonna roll.
I also have the ability to like change the difficulty of like coercion and things. So I think that charm, coercion, and deception. So I think that I would be able to convince Keitra just about anyone at this point.
So I rolled and I got a 2 success and I got a threat. So I'm gonna leave him.
That sounds absolutely perfect for a result from what you were describing.
Yeah.
And I'll just have the threat turn into a strain.
Okay, I'll take a strain. She is so just beside herself. She wants to help her friend. She loves him dearly. He's a really good friend, and she loves teasing him, loves hanging out with him. She finds him great with shenanigans. But she's like, he told me to leave him. And in hunting, she knows that sometimes you have to leave to catch the prey. So she's going to make her way to the bus where Shin's sister is. And she's going to try to be, you know, as quiet as she can and go around the areas she sees that there's people.
I do want to get a stealth roll off of Kedra. I just am double. It's going to be average, 2 purple.
Purple.
Yep.
Okay. Can I get a boost since they're kind of distracted by everything that's going on and they're just kind of, they're not like patrolling per se. They're more like trying to bunker.
It's-
Okay.
It's very much a holding position. I'll totally go with that.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, nice. 2 success and 3 advantage.
All right.
So I'm gonna kind of make my way over, get to the bus, hopefully. And the advantage is that I'm not seen or heard.
Mm-hmm.
And can I give a boost to Zach? So, like, if he has to roll something, he can get a boost. Okay, I'm going to do that.
So you're sneaking, you're able to dodge around a bunch of the Deuterus and the, like, overturned vehicles, an office that is just on its side, in the middle of the street. And in the distance, you can start hearing the high-pitched whine of a TIE fighter. Well, it's not a TIE fighter. It's a lot of TIE fighters. And they seem to be getting louder. And by the time you get to the bus and get in, you can see Lenore you can tell that she's panicking. Oh, where's Shen?
He's on his way. He's on his way. He's not going to make the bus, but he's on his way. He's got an alternate route. It's the safest way for him to get there. Let's go. We need to go now. Don't worry. Your brother will be alive. Just you need to let's go.
Yeah, she is beyond frazzled, but she's pushing the buttons for which gear the bus is supposed to go into, just jamming her claw into the reverse, mashing down on the accelerator, and is looking over her shoulder, trying to back up through the just maze of debris that's there, finding a place to turn around. And the bus, as it turns around, I'm sort of figuring that you'd be taking one last look back at the field.
Yes.
What you see is a couple of the LAT personnel transports landing. One you can see has the weird medic symbol on it. It comes in, it lands for a relatively short amount of time, and then takes off. It looks like it's rising out of atmosphere. The sides to it are closing up, and like these things are normally flying with their side doors open, and this one, as it's climbing, the side doors are closing, and it's looking like it's making for orbit. As the bus itself turns and starts heading away, you can see and hear and kind of feel the explosions as a small element of TIE bombers decimates the buildings that Kedra was in and the two on either side of where Kedra had been shooting from.
Shin's just laying there like a big pool of blood, looking at his wrist dart launcher, cycling through, trying to see if there's any stims in there.
Norin is grabbing Izazel's wrist and pulling her along in a breakneck dash towards the exit of this place, in some hopes that by getting back to the Codfather they can help Shen somehow.
Nora gets a text, comes across her data slate, and it says, Lenny, iced the big, don't wait around, catch you on the other one. And Lenore knows if Lenny comes across, it's like a code for this is serious, listen to what I'm saying, and she can decipher the rest of it is you leave, don't wait.
I'm going to send a little message to Shin that just says, love you, my friend. That's it. That's what she's going to say.
On the run out, Isazel's she's going to take one moment to stop, because she's like, and just grab Norin and give them a hug and just be like, we're going to be okay. Please say it out loud. And I'm questioning if they should be gay in this second.
She can try. I'm not sure how receptive Norin will be.
Isazel's just going to kiss Norin on the forehead and then keep going. and grab Norin's hand to keep running.
We can't do anything from down here. Done all we can. Down here.
Zooms out on a box in a closet, and then out of the closet, and there's posters of a green mohawk just evaded.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates at linktree/The Hydian Way, and you can find me on the socials at Deuterium Ice.
You can find all of my mercenary work on shows such as this one, Dicey Cantina, and Coruscant Nights at my linktree/Erica Goodwitch.
You can find me at linktree/Tales of the Outer Rim.
You can find me, Henry, everywhere as @SimDisorder with one Y and one I in that order.
You can find me, Joy, at The Other Place Podcast Season 2 as Talana and live on Twitch TV/JoyfullyMe with the number 2, playing a variety of games.
And we are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes and previous seasons.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and please subscribing.
You can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com, and you can find merch at tpublic.com/user/thehydianway.
You can cast subscription at kofi.com at The Hydian Way.
Just for the record, Shin is in his late 30s, but for Shistavainen, it's kind of like dog years, but like less extreme. That's actually quite old for Shistavainen. I think their max life is in the 40s or something, somewhere around 40 or 45.
It's fun. Norin is quite young for Mary Allen.
So it is unlikely that Shen has turned into Brutus.
And like mid-40s would be like middle-aged for Kedra as a human.
Yes.
But we've gotten off track.
Long shot of a method to try and fix this.
A Kessel Run.
That's a good one, yeah.
Actually, a good one.
Yeah.
What's my
Difficulty.
role?
Success.
Well, naturally, but like what are the odds to get there?
No, Giselle just smiles and then presses the big green button.
Okay, so I'll describe a few things and then we'll go. Yes, I'm describing being a GM. Sorry, up in my own head.